Have you ever wondered how long it would take to go from one corner of Hyrule to the other? Well, in this video, we're going to figure that out, as I'm here in Gerudo Desert, in the most southwestern part of Hyrule that you can physically reach, and our goal is to reach the northeastern part of Hyrule, the furthest that we can at least explore in, that being over in the Akkala Sea. So, let's go ahead and get started, and as you can see, yeah, I can't go any further, so this is pretty much where the game blocks you off. You can't explore any more of Gerudo Desert. This is where Hyrule ends. So, we're gonna start from here. And our way of transporting ourselves, you know, what we're going to use in terms of a vehicle of travel will be the Hoverbike. Pretty much the most used build every Zelda player has used, right? Or at least probably the one that is most used. I know a lot of people maybe don't use this, but this makes traveling throughout the game so easy, so I'm definitely going to put this to use. And yeah, let's see how long it will take. I've never actually done this, and I want to kind of experiment, so I thought it would be fun to do in a video with you guys and, you know, just kind of play the game and enjoy it, because yeah, there's still a lot of fun to be had, even though I'm not playing the game as much as I should. I mean, being able to do silly stuff like this gives me a reason to continue playing even after I've beaten the game. So, yeah, we've already reached the Lightning Temple, probably the coolest temple within the game, at least in my opinion. And I love how it's like based off of a pyramid. It looks so badass, even from afar. Like, yeah, it's so cool, with the camel designs, as we could see. But okay, let me not slow down my movement. I want to time how long it takes, so if anything, that will take away from it. Even though you're still moving, you go a lot slower, so I'm not going to bother with that. But yeah, my hoverbike may not be perfect. As you can see, actually, if I don't touch the controller, it will slowly sway to the right, which yeah, you got to build your hoverbike perfectly to make sure it doesn't do stuff like that, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, as long as I have my controller in hand, I can easily, you know, kind of correct myself, and it's not too bad. Let's just make sure we're actually going diagonally. Okay, we are, because I don't want to waste time going too far in a different direction. We want to make sure we try to reach the opposite corner as soon as possible. And I'd say the hardest part about starting this video is trying to come up with which corner of Hyrule I want to start in. I feel like starting in Gerudo Desert is probably the best, just because the weather is really clear. You know, it's only sunny here. I mean, I guess it can be foggy if you're down below, but we're high enough to just enjoy the sun. So I was thinking about maybe starting in a different corner, but, you know, some of it's snowy, some of it isn't. I feel like this, from beginning to end, will be nice and sunny, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'll be honest, this whole concept within the game, and this is something I want to talk about throughout this video, is kind of insane to me. Like, till now, I feel like, well, this is such a cool mechanic, being able to fly over Hyrule and, you know, all these, you know, huge landmarks and, you know, areas to explore are just beneath you and you no longer have to deal with them. Well, it makes the game feel surreal and almost like you're in God mode. It takes away from how amazing and dense Hyrule truly felt, because you're able to just fly above it all. And because of that, I don't know, I feel like I don't appreciate Hyrule as much within this game as I did in Breath of the Wild, because in Breath of the Wild we were grounded, and because of that, and I'm gonna make sure to use yeah, the large zonite charges, but because you were grounded, you had to appreciate your surroundings, and, you know, to go from one area to another, if you weren't fast traveling, took some time. You know, you only had a horse, and that was really it in terms of traveling. I mean, of course, you could glide as well, but still, it just made things feel just a lot bigger than they are in this game. Even though this game is 3 times bigger, it surprisingly feels smaller, and I feel like because they're given that God mode. It's something I've said before is it's like going, it's like playing Minecraft in survival mode and then switching to creative mode. When you switch to creative mode, the world doesn't seem nearly as interesting as it used to be. And I'm losing some HP. I could eat something, but I feel like we're going to leave the desert's heat real soon. We could see a Gliok over there. Sadly, the shadow is covering it, but I love the real-time shadows. That's something Breath of the Wild had as well. And yeah, it was so cool. Just overall, I love how, like, ambitious and amazing this game is, but I feel like because it's more of the same, it's, you know, it's lost the charm that Breath of the Wild originally gave us. But still, it is an amazing game. It's easily one of my favorite games of all time. I feel like every time I criticize this game, people are like, oh, you hate Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, no, I love Tears of the Kingdom so much. It's just, you know, I'm ready to move on to something else. But don't get me wrong, I bet you in like 5 years I'm going to come back to this game and just be in awe. And that's something I find myself doing a lot with older Zelda games. But okay, we're still in the heat. We're soon going to leave it, but at least we're out of Gerudo Desert and the canyons, and we're starting to reach the Great Plateau, which, yeah, the Great Plateau used to seem so high up in Breath of the Wild, but looking at it here, it doesn't. At all. But okay, there we go. Okay, finally the haziness is gone. We're no longer losing HP, and we should be good moving forward. I don't actually want to go too high up because I want to enjoy the you know, being able to view the land up close. I can go really high up, of course. This game implemented the sky, and we could see so many sky islands above us, but I don't want to be up in the sky like that. I want to be around the you know, the view. You know, I want to take it in. That's the whole point. I feel like doing this wouldn't feel as exciting if we're so high up and we could barely see Hyrule. But yeah, the Great Plateau, I remember in Breath of the Wild when I first explored this, how grand it seemed. And I remember when Nintendo said in E3 2016, I believe, that this was 1% of the entire game, like when it comes to the map. And I feel like it's a bit bigger than 1%, or maybe it isn't. I don't know, but I thought they were messing around. I'm like, there is no way. This is bigger than probably every single Zelda game's map prior, right? No, well, maybe not the Wind Waker. The Wind Waker's map was huge because of the Great Sea, but like even Twilight Princess, when I revisit it, I notice how small it really is. It felt like the biggest version of Hyrule, and then you play Breath of the Wild and in Tears of the Kingdom, you're like, okay, that is nothing. But I think that is, yeah, Faroche coming out, or entering? No, I can't tell if that's its horn or its tail. I think going in, yeah, it's entering the depths, which I love how the dragons can fly throughout the depths. It's really interesting, and I definitely want to make a video where I, you know, kind of ride the dragon throughout their entire, you know, route and kind of show that off. Let me know if you're interested in something like that. But for now, we're just going to focus on this objective. And where is... Okay, it's right above us. I'm like, yeah, the Great Sky Islands is easily the island that you can immediately notice within the sky because of how massive it is. While I do say that, you know, most of the other islands outside of the Great Sky Island aren't nearly as good, I do know there are a couple, like the Valor, Courage, and Bravery Island. I'm not entirely sure if that's the last island's name, but, you know, they all mean courage, essentially. Those islands are pretty cool, and they're really easy to see on the map. And then we got, like, a few other ones, like the one in the storm. I don't want to really get into that one because if you haven't played enough within the game, that would be considered spoilers. That's like the one island that the game doesn't let you really explore, at least properly, until you reach a certain point within the game. You know, the rest of the game is open world, so I don't really feel like anything else is really spoiler-ish. But, yeah, I mean, I have to say, I actually really like the very calm and nice music up here. The atmosphere for this game is so good, and then the music just complements it. And I'll be honest, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom soundtrack is so much better than Breath of the Wild's, which is weird to say because they share a lot of the same tracks. But no, something about Tears of the Kingdom does it better. But that may just be me. I don't know. I just see it that way. But yeah, wow, we are making quick progress. Actually, we're about halfway in. Let me see. Almost, but I'm kind of, you know, accidentally making my way too far to the east. I want to kind of stay in the middle and make sure I'm only going diagonally. So let me kind of correct my path. I'm sure there's maybe a better way to do this. Maybe if I had the map opened up or something, but I don't know. I just thought this would be fun to do, and I just want to talk about the game for a bit because, yeah, recently I put out another video kind of criticizing the game, and I had a lot of people kind of just assuming, yeah, I don't like the game or something, and it's like, nah, it comes from a place of tough love. I love Tears of the Kingdom. I love it more than Breath of the Wild. It does a lot of things right, but it also does a lot of things wrong, and you can love a game and see its flaws. I don't know why it's like, there's a lot of people who just see things in black and white. It's like, if you have a problem with it, then you hate it. It's like, no, that's not at all the case. I love the game. There's so many things I love about it. I wouldn't be making videos about it still if I didn't love it, right? I'm finding new ways to play it. Like, this is completely unnecessary. I've beaten the game, and I want to, you know, mess around and have fun. I still admire how ambitious it is. I mean, just look at how we can see all of Hyrule. Like, yeah, no, I'm never gonna say that this game is actually bad. I don't think the game is bad. It's just, it could be better. My expectations are higher from the Zelda team and Nintendo in general, especially with how much time they took. I just want the game to be better so we don't have to complain, right? And I feel like, yeah, that should be understandable, but a lot of people take it too personally, I guess, and I feel like, yeah, you should be able to understand that some criticism is just tough love. Someone who goes, you know, who's been identified as ZM, you know, Zelda Master their entire time on the internet, clearly loves Zelda. So if I do criticize it, it comes from a, you know, good place, to say the least. But okay, whoa, the skybox changed entirely. Oh, oh no, an Arrokuda? Wait, can they knock us down? Oh god, okay, no. Comes out, this will be their demise, as if they hit the device, they'll actually get hurt. So hopefully this one hits it so it can play the good music again. Come on, no, ram into it or just leave me alone. Okay, well, they're just missing. Hopefully we leave them soon. I guess I'm not high enough to ignore them, but again, I don't want to be, because, yeah, I still get lost in this game's beauty, and that's just a testament to how amazing this game is. I mean, the fact that every time I see the sunrise and the sunset in this game, I want to take a bunch of screenshots and just stare and enjoy the game. And the fact that, again, it runs on a Nintendo Switch is just mind-blowing, because this game, to me, is the best open world of all time. And don't get me wrong, Elden Ring was super good, but even Elden Ring had certain limitations. It wasn't as seamless. Like, the underworld had an elevator that kind of acted like a loading screen, and even the underworld didn't cover the entire map. It was just certain portions of the game. But again, aesthetically, I think Elden Ring looked and its world just felt a lot more alive compared to Breath of the Wilds. But and Tears of the Kingdom, of course, but I still think Tears of the Kingdom's world is way more ambitious than that. And I know there are games like No Man's Sky and what else? Starfield, I guess, because it has so many planets, but those actually have loading screens. No Man's Sky has a form of loading screen, because when you enter in and out of a planet and you know, go through the atmosphere, you can notice a loading screen. So there definitely is a loading screen in even No Man's Sky. But my point is, yeah, I feel like this is definitely, and I don't think it's just bias speaking, I feel like this is just the most ambitious open world because of how seamless it is. There are 0 loading screens, and literally you go from the depths to the sky to everywhere just seamlessly. We've literally done a video previously not long ago where we went from the depths to the top of Hyrule, way up in the sky. So yeah, to me, the fact that this runs on the Switch is just so insane, and Nintendo needs to be commended. And imagine if they had a better platform to run this game on. Like, whatever Zelda game comes after this, hopefully it will be on the Switch too, or whatever the Switch's successor is, will be so much better. And my excitement for the next game within the series is so high up. And maybe, you know, just, I guess I overhyped this game in my mind, which is why I was let down in a lot of aspects. But I don't think, like, no matter how much you love this game, you can't deny that it piggybacked a little too much off of Breath of the Wild. It has a lot of original things. This is a good example. You couldn't do this in Breath of the Wild, right? But it still, for someone who has no-lifed Breath of the Wild, yeah, it still feels like more of Breath of the Wild. And again, I'm coming from someone who isn't a casual fan. I feel like a lot of people who probably play the game, and what Nintendo create the game for, are for casuals who don't have enough time to play through 100 hours within the first month. You know, that 100 hours they're going to put throughout the entire year, right? So they're busy, they have things to do, they play the game in the free moments that they have to play, and they're unable to, like, just no-life the game. So coming from someone who plays the game so much, who literally creates content, it's literally like what they do daily, yeah, of course I'm gonna eventually get tired of the game. So it's coming from, like, an ultra fan, you know? I feel like, so when you hear my criticism, you should understand that if you're someone who doesn't have that much time to play the game and, you know, probably hasn't put in as many hours as me, then yeah, it's understandable. And when you think about what this game is created for those type of fans, this game is amazing because, yeah, people who, you know, are just playing this game to kill time in the free time they have, they will find endless enjoyment and never get tired of the game, at least, you know, because they're never going to play it as much as I have. But I'm someone who has literally played over 2,000 hours of Breath of the Wild. And then I come into this game, yeah, I'm going to feel a bit fatigued, you know, when it comes to playing this again, right? But you got to understand, I'm completely different demographic than what Nintendo's catering for. Most of their fans aren't like me and other Zelda content creators, so I feel like you should take all Zelda content creators' opinions in a different light, sort of speak. You know, we still understand what the casual wants, but we definitely don't play it like a casual, if that makes any sense. But okay, we have made it to the Lome Labyrinth, which I do want to bypass, but it should have been lower so I don't have to actually fly around it. But we're pretty much, oh god, okay, we're gonna go even slower because of the anti-gravity here. I want to leave that as well. But either way, yeah, I think we're pretty much at the end. My whole point is, yeah, I love this game. I see so many good things about it, but I'm not gonna not criticize it if I see certain flaws. Like, you know, the story, certain things can get repetitive, and, you know, even I'm sure a casual can see that as well. But, whoa, okay, wait, did we make it? So we're definitely at the eastmost explorable area. Let's see if we're at the northmost. You know, let's make sure we're actually directly northeast and we can't go any further. I remember in Breath of the Wild, I always used to try to wind bomb glitch my way to the other side. But okay, yeah, there we go. We have reached it. We can't go any further. It didn't take us too long, surprisingly. I mean, but then again, with the power of the Hoverbike, yeah, it's pretty nice. But whoa, I like how it's like literally an invisible wall. You could hear that sound effect that sounded like the Hoverbike was scraping. But yeah, we've done it. We've made it to the other side. I felt like I could have continued ranting. There's a lot more I wanted to say, but I guess we can save that for another time. Maybe I'll do a different video similar to this where I can go from a different corner of Hyrule to the other, or let's maybe do it land-based. If you are interested in that, let me know. Leave a like on the video, comment. Just let me know what else you'd like to see. Let me know what you think of my opinion. I just think in general, yeah, I just wanted to kind of rant, talk, play the game. You know, I feel like this is just a fun kind of concept to do. We're doing a challenge, but at the same time, we're, yeah, just kind of talking and ranting. So to me, it was enjoyable to say the least. But it looks like we have landed, and yeah, we can't go any further. So I guess that about does it for this video. I still want to focus on the objective and not, you know, just start going off on a completely other tangent. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the video in general, and if you'd like to see more of these. In general, I'm just having a lot of fun, just, you know, making one-off videos, and don't worry, the Let's Play will still be completed. It's just, yeah, with all the technical difficulties I had with it, I want to make sure when I record each and every episode, I'm excited for it, and, you know, it's just engaging all the way through, because if I'm not engaged, then you're gonna notice, and I feel like the videos won't be engaging either. So hopefully understand why, but either way, I hope these filler videos in between are entertaining enough for you guys to watch. Please, again, let me know what you guys think and what else you'd like to see. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I've been ZM, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.